Hey everyone, Rick here, and I'm back again for another Honest Thoughts, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my honest thoughts on the OKKO crossover Nexus episode. It is finally here, everyone! The crossover between OKKO, Teen Titans Go, Steven Universe, and Ben 10. So, yes, as you all know, I am very pumped and hyped about this ever since I heard about this back when it was announced at San Diego Comic-Con. And in some way, this is celebrating the golden age of Cartoon Network from 1995 all the way to 2005. And I'll get into that more about that later. But these are going to be my pretty much thoughts on the whole episode. So I will be giving away spoilers, so if you have not seen this episode, don't worry. If you have cable or DVR, this episode will continue to play all throughout tonight. It will also play on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you have pretty much all throughout this week to catch it and record it and watch it. So I highly recommend you go do that, or you can of course go and watch it on the CN app. Again, also recommend you do that because please support the official release. Can't believe I'm saying that about Cartoon Network. So yes, but also before we get started, if you noticed, I am now in a new background. That does have something to do with the whole revamping Jedi Bender and my whole channel. So let me know what you guys think of this background. Do you like it? Because I like it personally. But if you guys want the old background back, then okay, I'll move all the way back to that background. But regardless, let's go ahead and talk about this. So, yes, everybody, as you can tell, it took me, like, maybe 12 takes to finally calm my excitement down. But now I am completely focused, and that is a testament to how awesome this episode was. So this is OKKO's second crossover. The first one last year was, of course, with Captain Planet. And in my mind, I was always hoping that OKKO would be able to cross over with other Cartoon Network shows, because why not? It seemed possible, but now that time has finally come. Now, I've already explained why it is these four particular shows that are in this crossover, and not, say, Powerpuff Girls, Mighty Magistords, We Bare Bears, Adventure Time, regular show. All of that has been explained. So, yes, but without any further delay, let's just go ahead and talk about this episode. So yes, I'm not going to go through the whole episode. I'm just going to give you guys a basic summary, and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on it. So yes, we see this episode actually start off pretty intense with without the traditional intro for OKKO. It just shows the title, and it shows the credits and the name of the episode, and we actually are in, I'm dead serious right now, we are in the ruins of the CN City, from the CN City era, that where, if you guys don't remember that, it was a city that had all of the Cartoon Network characters from all 12 to 20 shows at that time. They would interact with each other, and they basically lived there together. So all of their universes were in this one populated city. And now we actually see it in shambles. It's in ruin. It's desolated. And you're just wondering what happened to it. And then we actually see the main villain of this episode, named Strike, trying to pretty much capture Garnet and Ben, and he's unsuccessful, so he summons KO, and just when it looks like he's about to, straight out of the way, just kill him, Garnet steps in and saves him. And, of course, Ben finds them a way out, and they all introduce themselves to one another. And this is where we get the backstory of these characters, because I should remind you all, KO does not know any of these two because he's only familiar with characters in his universe via his PAL card. I mean, he even knew who Captain Planet was because he had a PAL card, but he doesn't know who Garnet is, nor Ben, or anyone, because he's in a different universe now. So we pretty much see that they're trying to get away from Strike, and as they do we actually see that Strike has sent out these drones that can delete and get rid of their powers. So this, of course, being Ben's Omnitrix, Garnet's glasses, and then we actually see them make a run for it, and they actually run into a type of museum with a ton of sea and Easter eggs. We actually see posters, and we actually see characters from all of the old shows, excuse me, turned to solid stone. And I will dare not name off these characters because I would be here all day. But they also run into Raven, who is not turned to stone, and she has also lost her powers. So now that they've all met each other, it's up to them to try and take down Strike, restore this city to what it was, and try and get back to their own universes as well. And because they're all on team, because all of these characters are on teams, they decide to go with a team name. This, of course, being Okay, Ben, let's go universe. Yes, try saying that 5 times fast. I'm just going to call them Okay, let's go universe 10 because I think that's much better in my opinion. And it rolls off the tongue a little easier. So, yes, that's pretty much the basic summary of this episode. And guys, this episode was fucking great. Without overreacting and pretty much not oversimplifying it, this episode was great from beginning to end. Now, my one complaint and worry about this episode was how were they going to handle this? Because I originally thought, like all of you, that this was going to either be a 22-minute episode or an hour-long event, which, in my opinion, it should have been. But no, it was, in fact, still going to be a 11-minute episode. And trying to tell this story, trying to pay homage to all of these Cartoon Network characters, the past, and bringing these 4 heroes together, in 11 minutes, that seemed a little rough to do. But this episode was actually able to do it surprisingly well, because this episode is very fast-paced. It immediately starts off with all the heroes in the city. They meet up, they introduce themselves to one another, and they quickly become friends in the span of maybe less than 8 minutes. And that's crazy. And, of course, we also get an idea of the villain of this episode, even though we don't hear his backstory. We don't know why he's doing this. He's just doing this because he's evil. As Raven just said, he's pure evil. And there's not much really shown to us about how did this city get like this, and how did the Cartoon Network, all the Cartoon Network characters from the past, how did they get here? Like, what happened? None of that is explained. Like, none of that. So that is actually maybe the one complaint I have about this episode, is that it should have been at least 20 minutes, because that way we could have had a flashback maybe of all the heroes trying to defeat Strike, and they all failed. Because I think that would have made the stakes really rise, and that would have given our heroes more motivation to want to take down Strike, instead of just saying, oh, duh, we gotta go take him down. So that way, it feels like they're doing this not just to get themselves out, but to protect each other, but also to avenge their fallen comrades. So that way, it would have been more epic and emotional, in my opinion, but that's just me. Now, aside from that, this episode was great. The highlights of this course, the highlight of this being, is we get to see all 4 of these heroes interact with each other, and quite frankly, all of them had great chemistry with one another. Garnet, of course, was great. KO is adorable. Raven was actually, because Raven is sort of the brains and the more tolerable Titan of Teen Titans Go, she was actually very good. It was nice to finally see her be more relaxed and just have her not being able to deal with her idiot teammates. And Ben was just Ben. He's just Ben. Like, he has his moments, he's very cool, but other than that, it's just Ben 10. Like, it's the Ben we all know and love. So there's really no highlight to him. But seeing all four of them team up with one another, quickly become friends, have a laugh here and there, that all was great. But I really think what would have nailed it even more is if we actually got to saw them just get to know one another, like, instead of just telling each other who they are, what they do, etc., etc. But nevertheless, that was great too. The animation was very fast, fluid, just like OKKO in a nutshell. Ben and Raven took some time to get used to because they come from very, very, very simple cartoons. It really was surreal seeing them in KO's more fluid anime, video game-like style, especially Raven. Ben looked okay. I think he was fine. Garnet barely looked different at all because they straight up ripped her model off from her show. So that's kind of cool. Also, too, the jokes were very minimal. They did get a laugh out of me here and there. And other than that, I have to say, the music cues in this episode was also good. There are great callbacks to Cartoon Network. So this crossover is not just about our main four heroes teaming up to take down Strike, but it's also a giant love letter to Cartoon Network. So in some way, this does kind of make up for the shitty celebration video we got last year celebrating Cartoon Network's 25th anniversary. So this is actually better at celebrating Cartoon Network in general. Now, another thing I really liked about this episode, aside from the animation, aside from the character interactions, the writing, is just the meta joke that's in here. Not even a joke. It's a meta lesson entirely, because I think what I was looking forward to is the explanation as to why, even though I figured it out, but I wanted to hear what the show was trying to tell us. I wanted to know, why did the sea and city get destroyed? Like, why is it like this? And that is answered in the most subtle way possible. It is basically lost to time, because think of Strike, and this is really interesting. Strike's motif is red X's, and he's trying to pretty much get rid of heroes. Now, that sounds like a standard supervillain cliche, but if you really look at this from if you take a step back and look at this, the show is actually making Strike the main CN cancel ship. Like, it's almost as if Strike is the physical manifestation of shows getting canceled. And that is why the city is like that, because there is no more life, because all of these characters are gone, and he pretty much got rid of them. So in a way, he canceled them. Like, that's crazy. Like, that is a great meta joke and satire on Cartoon Network, and I am so surprised that they were actually they were willing to let Ian Jones go this far with the subtle meta references. So props to him and Cartoon Network for that. But yeah, no. At the end of the day, I don't know what else I can say about this episode other than it was great. It has its flaws, definitely. The pace, for what it is, it works wonderful, and it's able to juggle all of these things at once without making it seem like it's going too fast. It's going fast because it expects you to pick up on this every minute, so you definitely have to pay attention. But other than that, aside from not being a 22 or hour-long episode, aside from not really giving us more emotional stakes or really getting more time to spend with these four characters and pretty much getting to know why they were chosen, other than that, this episode was great. I would highly recommend you guys go check it out. I don't think there's anything more I can say about it other than I would highly recommend you watch it. So if I were to give this a score, like a 1 to 5 out of stars, I would actually give this a 4.5 out of stars. Like, it was that damn good. It was really that damn good. It's not perfect, but it comes close to it. And yeah, I don't think there's, again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but there's nothing else I can say about this episode. I would just highly recommend you go watch it, and I look forward to seeing this many, many times again. So yes, thank you, Ian, for writing this great episode. Thank you to the animators, to the voice actresses, especially Tara Strong for balancing Ben and Raven. Yeah, you guys know I don't like her. And of course, Cartoon Network for just giving us another second great crossover. And I really hope KO can keep it up with these crossovers, because at this point, just have KO do all the crossovers. Like, Ian knows what he's doing with these crossovers. So just make him in charge. Make him the Kevin Feige of crossovers for Cartoon Network. Come on! I would like that. But regardless, guys, if you enjoyed this Honest Thoughts, then please hit that like button. If you are new to my channel and if you enjoyed this video, then please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you. And if you want to stay up to date with all my videos and more, then please hit that little bell notification to be notified the minute my videos drop. And let's get a discussion going about this. Did you see this episode? Did you not see this episode? Have I encouraged you to go watch it? If you did see it, what did you think about it? Good, bad, whatever. Let's just get a friendly discussion going about this. And until then, everyone, this is Rick, of course, saying thank you all so much for watching. And until then, I'll see you guys for the next Honest Thoughts. Later, everybody.